How's it going, Dopamon fans? If you've been following along, you know we've been predicting rosters for the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. And today, last but not least, we've gotten to Latvia. If you haven't already, go check out our the other roster predictions we've done on all the other countries in the tournament.
Yeah, and if you enjoy this video, leave a like for us. Really helps out the channel. Subscribe for more dope hockey content coming soon, and let us know who you think we missed on this team afterwards. And yeah, without further ado, our
Of course,
goaltenders.
already, yeah, the name to the roster already. We're
Right.
Rudolfs Balcers, Zegmus Girgensons, and Kristians Rubins. And yeah, with goaltenders, go ahead.
Yeah, without further ado, anyway. The best goalie Latvia's seen in a long time, Elvis Merzlikins, Kristaps Guzlevskis, and Arturs Silovs. Merzlinkins is Latvia's goalie. He'll get the majority of the time for Latvia. Has a 939, I think, so far in 5 games with Columbus. He's absolutely killing it there. Uh, Goals against average under 2. Kristaps Gudlevskis is famous in Canada for almost ruining our hopes and dreams in 2014. In the quarterfinals, Canada Latvia, I believe the final score was 2-1, and Canada broke a 1-1 tie with like 8 minutes left. Guzlevski's made like 57 saves, and he's a household name in Canada now for some reason. And he wasn't part of the qualifiers, but in honor of that win, I like him so much. I want to put him on the team. And Artur Silovs is part of the Vancouver Canucks system, currently playing in Abbotsford. 3 games as a 929 down there. That's very good for someone, for a kid in the AHL. Those are very good numbers. Yeah, the Latvian goaltending, clean, crisp and clean.
hmm They're gonna have to be because the defense isn't very strong. And I'll start with the first line. We have Juvis Yanis Belinskis. He's an offensive defenseman, super confident in the offensive zone. I think Latvia is really going to need that. And he's been fairly successful with the Dynamo Riga, but was most recently playing in the Czech League. And on the right side, of course, named to the roster, Kristians Rubins, who went undrafted but is playing, but signed with the Leafs after playing in the W. He's scoring really well in the AHL with the Marlies right now. He's big, can do a bit of everything. And I think it's going to be a good pair. You get an offensive guy and a guy who can do everything, and they're going to have to rely on that.
Yeah, and it does play as offside on the right
It
side
is on the right.
in Toronto, so he is used to playing on that right side. Our second pair, we have Janis Jacks and Oskars Cibulskis. And we are going to, I forgot to mention this up the top, Latvian names are hard. So if we make any pronunciation screw ups during this video and you're Latvian, we apologize. Let us know how the hell you pronounce some of these names in the comment section down below. Janis Jacks. Uh, these two actually, they played together in the qualifiers for Latvia, and they play on opposite sides, and it's very strange. This looks like we screwed this up. This typo. Jax is a right hand shot. Cibulski's is a left hand shot. I don't know if that's something Latvia has done on purpose, or if that's some sort of weird error we saw in their lines uh, in research for this video. If not, they just flip sides.
Mhm.
Oscar Cibulski's played for Latvia all his life, currently on the Dynamo Riga. As a defenseman, has 11 points in 23 games in the KHL. It's pretty good. That'll he'll be driving a lot of the offense on this team for sure.
And the third D pair, we have Rolfs Freebergs, and on the right, Kristaps Sotniaks. Freebergs, he's an offensive guy. He's played really well in the U.S. junior leagues, but could never really make it work anywhere above the ECHL level. He did most recently win the Czech League championship. He's a major part in that, so he's got some looks, and he definitely he made the qualifying team, of course. And on the right with Kristaps Sotniaks, he's a defensive guy, blocked the most shots in the KHL in the 2018-2019 season, and he's been captain of the Dynamo Riga team and the alternate on past Latvian international teams in the past. So he brings a sort of a kind of leadership role as a defensive guy, and Latvia is going to need that. So
Yeah, and if we don't have those guys, our last two defensemen here are Carlos Kuska and Sandis Smons. Kuska, 24 years old, left-hand shot defenseman, big, 6'4", also plays on Dynamo Riga. A lot of these guys do, similar to Kunlun Red Star in our Chinese video. Latvia, that's the Latvian KHL team. A lot of these guys play over there, and Smon's a 22-year-old defenseman as well. Didn't play any of the games of the Olympic qualifiers, so he is an extra. Plays in the National League in Switzerland, has 2 assists through 20 games over there. So not an offensive guy. Good extra to have though, young guy to have.
And on to the forwards. Our first line on the left, we have Rudolfs Balcers, who is named to the team. Down the middle, we have Teddy Bluger. And on the right, we have Ronald's Cannons. And Balcers, he's shown a lot of top six offensive upside, but not really the bottom six skills. And it was kind of beat out in Ottawa, but behind Stutzla, Kachuk, Formant, and Paul on the left wing there, because obviously, Stützle and Kachuk took that top six, and he couldn't handle playing the bottom six. And in San Jose, it kind of worked for his first year where he got those looks, but uh, this year it's not really clicking on the bottom six. But here in Latvia, where he is going to be like the top guy, the top scorer, I think that we're going to get the best of him, and he's going to be a real offensive threat. I think it'd be good for him in his career. And of course, Teddy Bluger is a second round pick by the Penguins. Great energy guy, brings a strong defensive presence. He's a PK specialist. He's got that's just what he brings. He never unfortunately didn't play with the Penguins during his their Stanley Cup runs, but has plenty of playoff experience himself. He's played in tight games before, and I think he's a all around great guy to have for Latvia at center. And on the right, Ronald's Cannons. He only has a little bit of NHL experience with the Canucks. Didn't want to stick around in the AHL, and he's a real big energy guy. Gives every single thing, he gives it all every shift, both ends of the ice. And I've heard about him. I've read that he plays every shift like it's his last, and he's got something to prove. I think that could really complement two NHL players in Balcers and Blugers.
Yeah, fantastic. Second line here, I think is a really good line as well. We have Mike Indrasis, or Mix Indrasis, Zegmus Girgensons, and Loris Darzins. Indrasis, 31-year-old, 6'3" winger. He's played on Latvia his whole life. He's captained him at Dynamo Riga at one point in his career. Currently plays in Vitiaz Poldosk in the KHL. And had 4 points in 3 games in the qualifier, so he'll be looked for offense. Zegmus Girgensons might be the most offensively gifted player on this team of the Buffalo Sabres, who are off to a completely predictable start, I guess. It has 6 points and has 6 points in 8 games, and he's been playing very well. Did play in the qualifiers, had an assist, and Loris Darzins, 36 years old. He's a veteran. He's played all in the Latvian system for a long time. Currently the captain of the Dynamo Riga, and has 13 points in 17 games.
And third line. On the left wing, we have Kaspars Daugavins, former Ottawa Senator, so I got the jersey on for that as well. Down the middle, Rodrigo Abals. And on the right side, Roberts Bucarts. Daugavins, he's a big scorer, gives a lot of energy. He scored a lot in the AHL and the KHL. He's been captain of the Latvian international team a lot throughout his career. And he's a big scorer, and I like what he brings. And Rodrigo down the middle, A-Balls down the middle, 6'4", 205. He's a big, strong two-way guy. He's currently captain of his SHL team. Put up great numbers in the AHL before, and I think he could be competing for an NHL roster, in my opinion, as soon as next year. Some teams are going to be giving him a call if he performs really well at the Olympics. This is kind of like an AHL line here between Dogvins and A-balls, and then on the right we have Robert Spukarts. He's been a big scorer for Latvia in the past, but not really like a top guy for him. He's never been a top guy on any team, and I kind of see this is their way of like balancing talent throughout the roster. They've got like a good scorer or two on each line, and they're kind of trying to roll four lines here, and that's what I see.
And our final line here. Final line, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this name. I'm sorry. Nikolaj Yelisyevs. Raynars Kratzenberg and Richards Bucharts. That's not a typo. He is the brother of Roberts on the third line there. Uh, uh, Yelisyevs has 10 goals in 18 games for the Dynamo Riga to start the year. Was not part of the Olympic qualifying roster. A lot of this roster is basically just the lines from the Olympic qualifying team. This is a guy I think has kind of emerged as a scoring threat in Dynamo this year, and he could be seriously a guy who may end up higher in the lineup depending on his season toward the end, toward the time where these rosters will be announced. And Raynars Krasenbergs plays in the Latvian League, not the KHL, but the Latvian League, has 12 points in 14 games. No NHL experience, played in OHL with Oshawa in 2017-18 last, had 38 points in 61 games. And Richards or Reihards Bucharts plays in the KHL as well, 8 points, 12 games. No NHL experience, but has some AHL experience with the Springfield Thunderbirds in 2016-17 and had 3 points in 14 games as well. Played in ECHL for Manchester. So a little bit of North American experience on these lines, but not a whole lot, as you can see.
And of course, that is not a typo. Above him, his brother Roberts, we do have on the third line. That's Roberts and Rehards Bucharts. They also have a brother named Rodzers, who's 17, a little bit too young for the roster, but that's three R's in the family.
Yeah,
All hockey players.
could in the future see three R Bucharts in
hmm
any Latvian Olympic team. Could be fun.
And on the fifth line, we have Andres Gerens, and on the wing, Martins Zirkals. Martins Zirkals, he was a third round pick in 2015 by Vegas. He played, I think, 4 games for the Marlies. I don't think he played very well. Really, played better in the ECHL, and then played a bit in the KHL as well. He ended up in the Czech League. And for Gerens, he didn't get drafted at all. He's only played in the OHL here in North America. Got a little bit of KHL experience, all with the Dynamo Riga, most recently playing in Austria. And he only played 2 games in the qualifier. It's very possible that he doesn't play any games at all.
And that's it. That concludes our series for Olympic roster predictions. Let us know what you thought about all these. If you haven't seen the other ones, we will put a card up here to. I normally put that in the video somewhere to go check out that playlist. And yeah, let us know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And is there anybody else we left off this team, Alex?
No honorable mentions here. That's it for me. Other than maybe what was uh Ivars Puninovs, the goaltender who might make this list over Artur Silovs. Who knows? He could be the fourth. He's the goaltender that played in the qualifier, played really well. He could steal the spot, though we really see Merzlikins being the starter, so it doesn't really matter who's the backup in this for Latvia.
Yeah, Lincolns will get the bulk of the time. And yeah, I think Guzlevski's and Silos are good options. Obviously, the guy Puninovs, he was the one who played in the Olympic qualifier, and he really stole the show there for Latvia. So he could realistically be on his team over either one of these two other guys in the World Cup.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
actually did have 2 other honorable mentions. There's Edwards Trollmarks and Harold's Eagle, both playing in the AHL right now. I'm not really sure where they'd slide in if they could. Maybe, yeah, there's a lot of good talent on the wing for Latvia, and they both play wing, so we decided to keep them off.
yeah, very good. All right, that's it for us for this video. We appreciate your support. Peace.